We are about to meet Moira, the German Shepherd dog. She's a rescue dog. She has a lot of what we're looking for in terms of a dog that needs a good bit of training that I think might be a great pupil for all of us to learn some things from. Honestly, I had no idea what I was getting into. This is Moira, a 10-month-old rescue dog who grew up on the streets of New Orleans. She is a very strong German Shepherd, but she's also 50 plus pounds of raw energy. Well, that's enough. Whoa, chill, relax. With a desire to, how do I say this, enthusiastically interact with her surroundings. This is exactly the kind of behavior that can scare a lot of people. If that was a dog, she would be like, I'm not paying attention to you, I'm paying attention to that. Okay, there's, yes, okay. I have to be totally honest with you. I am feeling a little bit overwhelmed.
So much for the tie out, huh?
She's looking for a new home, and I've been given 2 weeks to teach her how to be better behaved. Oh, that's my mic. There is no way. See, not as easy as it looks. But if she keeps making first impressions like this, she could have a hard time. Okay, we have a situation. No, this is going to take longer than 2 weeks. Moira loses complete composure anytime she sees a dog. There's virtually no chance she's going to disregard a dog anywhere within 50 yards of her. This is going to be a relatively unconventional dog training lesson. How am I going to get through to her? This polling is insane. I think I've made a miscalculation. Jumping on the furniture is definitely a problem with Moira. If she keeps behaving like this, nobody is going to adopt her, and it's going to be my fault. We have to address this biting. This biting must stop. She is way too old to be doing this kind of biting. I will teach this dog. Oh my gosh. How about this way? Look at her. There's a whole cluster of dogs over there. Look at this loose leash right now. Here, come on. Good girl. Much better. Yes. Come. Is she getting trained? Look at me. Shake. Yes. Let go. Yes. Okay, thank goodness I'm able to teach her something. This is reality dog training revealed. We are gonna do a dog training series unlike any other series that we have ever done before. We have heard you loud and clear. You guys have been insisting that we work with an adult rescue dog, with an unknown background, with various issues. So we've been combing through dozens of dogs who have applied to be on this series, and we have made our selection. You crazy, I will let you hold this bag. You can just set that on the ground.
A trained dog was not what we were looking for, so there you go.
Good, here, sit. You taught her down, you said?
Just sit.
Oh, okay, sit. Very good. Oh, she's perfect, she's great. Ooh, you're strong, aren't you? Yep. Oh. Good girl. You know how to let go. Let's see what the person who knows her best has to say about her.
Hey, I'm Valentina. I've been fostering the German Shepherd Moira Rose. One morning, I woke up with me and my roommate. We looked outside and we found Moira laying in my front yard. I sat with her probably for about an hour before I could tell if she was friendly because she was really scared of my roommate. And then eventually she just approached me. When she finally came to me and she ate, she immediately vomited. That's why I contacted Arno, Animal Rescue New Orleans, and I told them the situation and they made a vet appointment for her the next day. I've been fostering Moira Rose for about 3 months. She's really sweet, but she has some issues. From the moment I saw her, I saw potential. She met a few people that turned her down because she was jumping all over them. She's had some unfortunate run-ins with birds since I've been fostering her. Moira definitely needs help controlling herself around birds, other dogs, meeting people for the first time. I'm also hoping that she can learn a more reliable stay and recall, and that generally she'll just be more obedient. Pretty sure she'll never learn how to let go of a toy. Also, it would be great if she could learn some more tricks for potential adopters, just to show off a little bit. She's so smart and she's funny. She's really clumsy and goofy. Moira Rose deserves the chance to be the best dog that she can be.
Hey Moira, hi beautiful girl. Come on in. Good to see you. We have the other two in the studio right now just so we can give her some time to check it out. That's why we film. Yeah. Okay, you need to work on your furniture. Jumping, I see. I really do. She's a jumper. Valentina, her foster mom, has just walked out of the door and you can see Moira's a little distraught by it. So we need to make her feel right at home. I don't know about you, but the thing that makes me feel really comfortable is food. I mixed some Nom Nom here with her regular food so she can adjust to it. Hopefully she'll extra like me now that I'm giving her really good food. I love how you can see all of the individual ingredients and know exactly what they are. In this formula, they obviously use real chicken and vegetables that are human restaurant grade. I also love how it arrives at my door, freezing cold, every 2 weeks. And these meals are actually designed for your individual dog. They take their breed and their weight into account. A big faux pas is to try to feed your own dog a homemade diet without having an extensive knowledge of dog nutrition. If you think your dog will enjoy Nom Nom, they likely will. You can get 50% off of a 2-week trial at my special link, trynom.com/Zach. I'll have that in the description. My first objective is to literally just get her comfortable with this downstairs area where she's gonna be hanging out with us. And like every dog on earth, she's immediately drawn to Bree. Each room is a new environment to her with different floor surface, different smells. I think what I really should do is take her outside. That just occurred to me as she's smelling the carpet, to immediately let her know where to go potty. When you have a new dog, that first 24 hours should in part be focused on giving them ample opportunities to go potty in the right place. I mean, they don't know that they're not supposed to go inside or anything like that. So it's really on you to prevent those accidents. That's really the biggest thing you can do for potty training. I want to get Moira comfortable wearing a basket muzzle. The reason I want Moira comfortable wearing this is because I don't know her that well, but I do know that she's very strong and she has an extremely strong prey drive. And since I'm about to take her in public, I'm going to take every precaution. Understand that muzzles do have a stigma associated with them. A lot of people will see a muzzle on a dog and assume that it's not the nicest thing to do, but actually these are extremely humane muzzles. You'll notice all of the openings in them, so a dog can breathe, they can drink water, they can take treats. So they're really just designed to protect all of the dogs interacting with one another. And you never know how things are gonna go. It's much more responsible to use the muzzle and not need it than realize you needed it after the fact. Even when I introduced our older dog, Indy, to inertia, I had a muzzle on her as well. So when you're putting a muzzle on a dog, it's much better to prepare them for it ahead of time rather than just throwing it on them. So a really clever way here to get your dog comfortable with sticking their snout into the muzzle is to feed some chicken through it and just kind of let them nibble. It looks like she's doing just fine. Good girl. I'm gonna let it come off just like that. Good girl. Make sure you choose a muzzle that's big enough for your dog to be able to easily eat, drink, pant, and bark. Moira is actually between sizes, so we started with this one, but I think I'll upgrade her to an even larger muzzle next time. Fasten it on, a little reluctant there, but here, let me see if I can get her motivated about this chicken. Can you sit? I'm asking her to do the one thing she knows how to do, sit, because I want to make sure that she's comfortable enough to focus on me instead of this new contraption on her face. Yes, very nice. Bree and I are going to take our evening walk with Inertia and Moira. It might be nice for these guys to check each other out from a distance, but we'll keep the dogs way far apart to avoid overwhelming either dog. This will also be a good opportunity for me to see firsthand what I'm dealing with when Moira encounters other dogs on a walk. Okay, Moira is so worked up. Bree and Inertia are down there, but Moira is like really wound up. So you can see we've got a lot of work to do here. This rambunctious behavior with Moira is probably just play, but I can tell you, I know that Inertia does not particularly love this type of rambunctiousness. And that's okay. It's so important to be an advocate for your dog over everything else. You don't want to put them in a position where they're extremely uncomfortable. And I suspect if I were to let them go much further here, that Inertia would feel pretty overwhelmed. If this is the kind of behavior I can expect when she sees other dogs moving forward, it's clear to me that the priority needs to be teaching her to listen to me as a human being. In fact, I'm hoping to be able to teach her to stop paying attention to dogs and pay attention to me instead. I don't want to reinforce this crazy behavior by letting her go and meet dogs that she's lunging at. We put Inertia up, so now we're going to continue on our walk with Moira and see how she does. We should probably talk about the muzzle a little bit more here as well. I mean, the world is a very unpredictable place, and Moira has a history of not being so nice to a particular chicken, I understand, and I don't want to take any chances. I at least want to get to know her better. I mean, out here in an environment like this, it may look like there's not many people, but people occasionally like to take their dogs off leash out here, and I just don't want to take any chances because she's not a 12-week-old puppy, that's for sure. It's okay, here we go. I mean, straight away, I've got this clipped to me for redundancy here, just in case, because she is a very strong German Shepherd. And I want to emphasize, this is more of a free walk than anything. I'm really just trying to assess her and see what she's like. I'm not trying to prevent the pulling so much just yet, because I don't even have any basic communication with her. I think I can see why my audience has been asking me to take on a dog exactly like this, because she is going to be some work. That much I can tell. I mean, you can see there's the tension right there. She'll just keep going and going. Oh boy, she hears dogs. All right, I'm gonna see if we can keep moving here. Come on, girl. Not bad. Got a bike coming up over here. Let's see how she reacts to the bike. And again, this is really just a science mission to see what her issues are, because some of that we have to discover. Good girl, you're doing great. Alert. Right now I see a couple of dogs in the distance. These dogs coming up are moving pretty quickly, so I'm gonna let them pass by. It's often easier to focus on containing an outburst if you're not walking at the same time with your dog. She just gets extremely excited and activates every muscle in her body when she sees another dog. I mean, if they were just a little bit closer, she would have really been losing her mind, I suspect. So now we're gonna change a variable on Moira, right? We're gonna go into the neighborhood and see if she acts the same, different, better, worse, I don't know. The neighborhood is a different environment altogether. There are houses, there are barking dogs behind fences, cars, all of that. And again, I'm just on a discovery mission right now to see what I'm working with for the next 2 weeks. She's acting a little bit more pulley, a little bit more interested in her environment. And here I've got to keep her on a more narrow path. It wouldn't be very polite to let her go into people's yards. Oh gosh, poop bags. Did you bring any? And I know you guys would totally cancel me if I got caught not picking up my dog's poop. Okay, poop bag secured. One of the things I love about dogs that have ears like this, you can very easily tell what they're listening to by the way they're pointing their ears. And so when they're ahead of you, you kind of like to see if their ears are peeled back, paying attention. Do you see right there? But she's got a set of ears right there. Look at them. I enjoy making series like this. I think they're so much better than just like one lesson with a dog. You get to see what you can accomplish with a dog over a period of time, which is fun. And I just love showing you guys how every single dog is so different, but you have to take different approaches sometimes with different dogs to get to the same place. You can tell she's a really smart dog though. I mean, she's really interested in everything that's going on around her. Oh boy, look how she's looking at this duck though. Make sure I have a good grip on her, because they're not really scared of her at all. Whoa, boy. I mean, you see what I mean? That is why we put a muzzle on a dog there, because she doesn't know how to react yet. She's a strong dog. It's perfectly conceivable to think that, you know, she might get an extra couple of feet there, and that is something we want to avoid with her. And I'm resisting doing too much training with her because I want to lay some groundwork first, but we're going to be focusing on that exact behavior moving forward. She's already starting to pull towards this ugly duckling over here. I got a bike coming, so I can't really move right now. So I've got to really keep control of her. Let me create some distance here. Pulling is starting to recur and she's getting a little more amped up. I mean, I feel much better holding on with 2 hands with her, because if she decides to get a burst of energy, she's a lot to handle. Stronger than she looks, and she looks strong. I'm using the handle right here to really get control of her. She's really trying to go after these ducks, so I don't want to encourage this. These are the moments where you have to be careful and really be responsible about managing your dog. So I'm gonna probably go around over here. Hopefully that'll be enough. Oh my gosh. Gosh. Girl. No ma'am, come on, over here. So what I need to do there, when she has, wow. Come here. Is I need to create distance right there. But she doesn't know any better. I mean, that's on us to teach. We don't blame our student, right? She's not been trained. And these are some of the issues you deal with rescue dogs who don't have extensive socialization with the world. They haven't been taught specifically how to act in those kinds of situations. So honestly, it's a very puppy-like behavior, but puppies often learn because they have people teaching them and raising them. So she's managed to retain a lot of those puppy behaviors, but she's metamorphosized into a full-grown German Shepherd dog. It's not the ideal combination, but that's okay, because dogs are smart and they can learn. I'm gonna just gently encourage her to go this way now. Okay, got another duck. We need to get out of Duck Valley here. There's a belief by some in dog training that using a harness like this will encourage a dog to pull. My view is a bit different though. See, my goal is to achieve authentic communication with Moira over time that is not contingent upon a particular collar or harness. The idea is to get her genuinely paying attention to me and listening to me because she understands the concept, not because she's wearing a particular device. Let me see how she does with loud trucks. Cool, awesome. I mean, it might seem silly, but a lot of dogs are like, whoa, that's weird, that's crazy, let me bark at it. And so that doesn't look like an issue, at least so far, that we'll need to address. So these are the things I'm looking for. Okay, I've got a pretty good idea as to what I'm working with here. This tells me what I need to start working on next. If I am to have any success training Moira, I'm gonna have to really establish a bond with her. You've heard me say it before, the best way I know to establish a bond with a dog, especially a new dog, is to get them playing with me. And fortunately, she really loves to play tug of war right now. So before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to get her a little bit more tired by playing. She's also getting me a little more tired as well. Boy, you gotta watch that bite right there. You wanna be careful when you're teaching an adult dog like this how to play tug of war, because their aim isn't always the best. So they could bite you by accident. We want to avoid that. I noticed when she got dropped off, she definitely doesn't know how to reliably let go. So I'm going to go with my favorite method of teaching a dog to let go of a toy. I'm gonna become an oak tree and make the toy boring. And when she lets go, I'm gonna say yes and give it to her. Yes, good. Did you see that? She only let go for a minute fraction of a millisecond there. And what did I do? I immediately rewarded her and gave the toy right back to her. That's really important, not to be too greedy when you're first teaching let go. But let go can be taught in a single training session with many dogs. That remains to be seen with you though. Let go, yes. Very good, good girl. Good, and yes, a little bit longer that time. That was at least a full second that she let go of it. And you have to do this like, I don't know, 10 or 12 times in a row maybe. Yes, good, you can see, I mean, she's instantly getting this. Let go is one of the easiest things to teach a dog. I'm pretty confident she's gonna let go this time, so I'll say let go before she does it, since she's starting to make the connection. Let go. Yeah, there you go. And you can see how she let go ahead of time. So we're gonna continue working on that for sure. Good girl. Let me see how she does on her basic fetch. Let go. Since she is learning the concept of tug, I will be transitioning that into fetch later on. Okay, looks like her fetch needs a little work. And fetch for her is gonna be really important because she's got a ton of energy. I'm gonna put the leash back on her because she is not yet reliable in the house. Good job, and there's our first successful pee. So I'm still trying to let her out. She didn't pee at all on the walk, not one time, so that's really good. Well, at least potty training is off to a good start. There she goes, oh boy. I suspected she's been wanting to just get out here and run a little bit and get rid of some steam. Boy, she's quick. Whoa, gosh, that's my mic. Boy, she is wild. I would rather she probably chase me than me chase her, so when she comes in my area, I'm gonna run from her. That'll be good for reinforcing recall. It'll be good for her fetch training when we get to that point later on. Dogs love to chase. And if you know what you're doing, you can use that to your advantage. You can do this instead of cardio. It's actually proving to be a great way to burn some of that energy off right now. Don't know if I can hold up much longer though. As fun as that is for her and me, to be honest with you, it's a really great way to just get your dog enthusiastic about running to you. And obviously this isn't something that everybody would want to do, but if you're up for it, have some fun with them. Oh my gosh. Boy, that dog running at you at full speed is no joke. She may be the fastest German Shepherd dog I've ever seen. So far, she's doing great in her crate. You might notice that I've set up an air mattress. I'm gonna be staying down here, as is customary, on the first. Really?
I brought your pillow.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So yeah, we've got her in the crate here. I'm gonna keep you posted on how she does on her first night. So far she's doing really well in the crate, although you might notice she's chewing on a chew right now, a beef tendon chew, and she's enjoying that. So that's really putting her at ease. You know, giving your dog something they really like when you're trying to get them comfortable in a crate. Oh my God, look at my hair. It has been that kind of day.
It has.
Yep.
I know. Can you tell we're worn out already?
So a picture is starting to be painted as to the direction we need to take for her training, but I have to be totally honest with you. I am feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I'm still quite confident we can do a lot, but I only have like 14 days to try and get her ready to be a well-behaved dog for her future family, whoever that might be. And she has a lot of bad habits that a lot of people don't want to deal with. I mean, this is one of the issues with rescue dogs very often. They have a history of getting away with things, jumping on people or running after wild animals or anything like that. That can be really difficult to manage once the habit has been established. But you know, it's nothing that we can't deal with, but it is going to take some extra focus and patience, and I think we'll be okay. I hope so anyway. Okay, so Moira decided that she wanted to hang out up here on the bed. I don't think I'm gonna let her sleep with me, but it is so tempting because there's nothing more cuddly than a German Shepherd dog. Hey Moira, how are you gonna do over the next 2 weeks? She's just looking for trouble to get into. I'm positive of it. I'm trying not to keep her in the crate for very long periods during this first night. So I have her tied out right now. See, she's right there, she's right next to me. I really like to introduce the environment and the general house slowly over a period of time, not all at once. So that might put her at ease. I mean, she's not, I wouldn't say she's like super stressed out or anything. Moira! You know what, I think you're ready for another potty break. I just want to be cautious and careful. And there she goes, good girl. Even if you've had a dog for years, when you go to a new place, it's a good idea to be extra thorough about letting them out to do their business. Always remember, if your dog has an accident inside the house, that's on us. It's our job to teach them, so resist the urge to blame your dog or punish your dog and just take them out more often. That's usually the solution. And do that for like an extended period of time. Weeks, months, whatever it takes. You remember, let go. Yes. Good. Your training's already starting to work. I got some toys for her to play with. She's enjoying them. Squeaky, keeping her engaged.
What % chance do you think there is that she will end up sleeping in your bed tonight?
I mean, I don't know. I would think about 100. No, I'm just kidding. Right now, I'm not trying to be too strict as much as I am just trying to get her to acclimate to the house and the new place and everything. I don't see much harm right now with her getting up here, but nonetheless, I think it will be important for her to feel comfortable in her crate as well. So we'll try to balance those things. And I'm definitely trying to avoid the mistake of too much freedom too early, though I am trying to grant her some freedom so I don't overwhelm her with rules straight away, but managing the environment is super critical when you're training a dog. I mean, you can see that even though I'm managing the environment, there's stuff on the chair over here she can get to. Dogs are smart. I still have to really watch her. I'm content that I'm watching her good enough and she can only go within about a 10-foot radius here. That's why I exercised her and that's why I gave her plenty of playtime, and we'll do lots more tomorrow. I know, we're starting to bond already. You're doing great, so great. That's the shot. Okay, fine, I will play with you. No, I've been working out for you, okay? I'm ready. Ow! She got my finger a little bit, but she eased up, so that's a really good thing. We're actually having dinner delivered right now. I'm curious to see how she reacts, if she even notices someone comes up to the door. Let go. Someone knocked, good girl. I like that she's focused on me right now. I noticed when I opened the door, it looks like she would have wanted to run out the door, so another reason to control the environment, an even more important reason to train your dog how to stay at an open door, which I'm sure we'll get to at some point. Time for dinner. This is not for you. She's trying to take my dinner. You had Nom Nom. It was just as good. I've had her tied out there. She looks really comfortable. I'm finished with dinner and I'm ready to go to bed, so I'm gonna go put her in the crate. I still haven't ruled out the possibility that she may not be a crate dog because she does get pretty frantic in there. All right, she's back in her crate now. She does, I mean, I'm really starting to get the picture here. This is what I mean. When I walk away from her, hey Bree. Hey. When I walk away from her, she really starts to get frantic, starts to walk in circles in her crate and pace back and forth. You're trying to get out of the way?
Yeah.
You're so in the shot.
Thank you.
That's okay.
I just want to block Moira. I don't mind being in the shot.
You beautify the shot.
Aww.
But when I come right over here, and this is the logic of having the bed right here for now, as she adapts, she's more likely to relax. See what I mean? Like she gets a little more comfortable. I mean, she's still, you know, the yawning there, some anxiety probably. Or maybe she's tired. So the bottom line is, I think she might have separation anxiety. Okay, good night for now, and hopefully I'll see you in the morning. But if anything happens overnight, you guys will be the first to know. Say good night.
Good night.
It's 3 in the morning right now, and as you can see, Moira is starting to feel a bit frantic. I got up to get some water, and she just is like, oh my gosh, it looks like she's stressing a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and give her an opportunity to go outside and let her go potty. And it's raining. But I have to tell you guys, she was doing really well, so I got up there. So she went pee, so that's good. All right, maybe that'll make her feel a little bit better. We'll see. Looks like she's coming back in now. Good mood. So hopefully now she'll relax. We can both get some sleep because we have a lot of work to do tomorrow. All right, good morning. You did so well last night. I'm so proud of you. You only got up 1 time. Okay, let's go. Good job. I'm gonna stay here because it's cold and wet out there. I'm using a retractable leash. I don't want to let her just run outside right now to do her business, even though we have a fenced yard, because I don't want her to experience getting away with not coming back when I call her, or chasing a dog up and down the fence if one walks by for whatever reason. So I still want to have some control over the environment here for her morning break. There she goes. She doesn't mind the rain so much, which is great. Then I'm gonna go get ready for life. Okay, good girl. We got a lot to do today. Oh my gosh, we have a lot to do, including stopping jumping. Okay, we might have a little bit of a situation here. I had to go and get ready for the day, and I know that Bree is extremely experienced with dogs, so I felt perfectly comfortable putting her in charge of Moira.
Oh boy. Ah! Oh my gosh.
So you were really good about making sure she didn't pick up anything she wasn't supposed to, right?
Moira. Oh no.
Okay, well, you were able to keep her from getting any worse at her play biting, right?
Moira. She still play bites.
You need to stop biting. Here, you want to bite? Bite this. That's what you can bite. But if there's anything you're great at, it's keeping dogs from excessive barking, one of your best skills.
She's barking at me.
So when she was barking, was she asking to go outside or go potty or anything?
I tried that. I brought her outside. We stayed out for a few minutes and she didn't seem like she had to go. So I think she was just super bored. So I gave her a toy.
Okay, and she was good from that point on, right?
Moira's tied to me now. Why, you ask? This is why. So much for the tie out, huh?
Oh my goodness.
It happened so fast.
This would have happened to me too, honestly. I mean, we have really underestimated what it's going to take to manage this dog's environment. Don't get me wrong, she's bright, she's sweet, but she is raw, and there is a lot of work to do here. So we have a new tie out. It's metal inside.
Oh yeah, it's a steel, it's an actual tie out. This is actually a long lead.
Right.
So it's our bad for using a thing that, for not the purpose it was intended.
This is what I love about this series though, making the adjustments for the individual dog that you're working with, showing you the miscalculations. So she does seem to get pretty anxious in the crate the second I get more than about 10 or 15 feet away from her. She was good sleeping in the crate last night, but I think I want to be very careful about how I use the crate moving forward because she stresses easily in the crate. When she's in a crate, you can see her pacing back and forth. She starts panting. So these are telltale signs of anxiety with the dog, and we want to minimize that. I'm not going to give up completely on crate training though, because I mean there are still times where it's useful to have your dog go in a crate, and she's not totally traumatized. She still goes in voluntarily. I don't force her in. So I'm probably gonna have her sleep in the crate tonight, but like during the day when she's hanging out, she'll either be on leash with me or I'll have her tied out or have her in the backyard for some outdoor time. Tonight, I'm gonna have to sleep down here and probably for a good bit. I'm really still trying to get my bearings with her and figure her out. I mean, it takes me a good 3 days of working with a dog to really start to get to know them, I feel like. And this is just day one.
Yeah, that's true. And I remember on day one with Kona, I totally thought you were gonna sleep downstairs every night for 3 weeks because she was very, very anxious when you left her alone. And you ended up not having to, so we'll see, maybe there's hope.
I think with rescue dogs like Moira too, like they've had experiences, who knows what her background is, but it's common for a lot of people who don't know dogs to keep their dogs in a crate for too long. So she could have had some experiences in the past, I don't know, where she was in a crate for a long period of time. But I still haven't ruled out the possibility she just might not be a dog that does well in a crate. So I'm gonna be watching that closely. By the way, I mean, I'm discovering she is a proper level 3 German Shepherd dog, meaning the highest energy. 1 would be a couch potato, 2 is probably what most dogs are in that range, and she crosses into 3 territory for sure. I've been giving Moira so much attention that I decided to give Inertia a little bit of time and play some Frisbee with her to make sure her needs are being met. And obviously I did some Instagram stories. Make sure you're following us over there too. All right, let's get back to Moira. Oh, there's a dog walking past our fence. Here. Girl, what's this? Oh yeah, good. I was just doing a test there. I wanted to see how easily I could get her attention off of the dogs, but you can see she's definitely quick to react to dogs and notice them. Very similar to my own dog Inertia in this way. I'm hoping to really teach her how to focus on me when I request her attention, so that's something I'm gonna immediately get started with. It's finally time to get down to business with Moira and do some serious training with her. I put her back on leash right now because she tends to want to roam a little bit too far, so I'm gonna let the leash drag so that I can more easily get to her. Right now, I got a piece of chicken in my hand, and you might be wondering why. Because before this training session is over, we're hoping to perform a magic trick. A magic trick that will involve Moira leaving this piece of chicken alone. When I drop it in front of her, let's first see how she does. Sit. That looks good. Leave it. Okay, so she didn't listen to me. I'm gonna teach her how to leave that piece of chicken alone in this training session in a matter of minutes. I hope so anyway. I'm gonna try something a little different with Moira because she is a really high drive dog. I'm gonna put the chicken aside and I'm gonna take something a little bit less valuable to her. These are sweet potato treats. She still likes them, but she's a little less excited by them. We're gonna practice teaching her how to leave these alone. Do you know why we do this? The reason we do this isn't to necessarily teach a dog how to leave a treat alone. It's to teach them what we call impulse control, right? That is, leave the thing alone that you want to get. I'm gonna let her know I have sweet potatoes in my hand. I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna wait for her to lose interest here just for a fraction of a moment. See, she's realizing that's not working. Going for it isn't working. You see how I reveal it and then I close my hand? Yes, good. Every time I say yes, I'm gonna give her a treat. Let her discover that it's open again. Yes, did you see that moment of restraint? It was just a small moment. There we go, we're getting it right now. Yes, that's a smart dog. Let me get it one more time. Here we go. I like her sit. Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and reward on the sit. Yes, good. So, very quickly able to get her to leave those alone. Now, let me see if I can get her to leave it alone when I drop it on the ground. That is the hard part. Actually, let me take a smaller step before I do that. The reason it's hard when you tell your dog to leave something alone and you drop it like that, there's movement, it's natural for them to pursue it. So this time I'm gonna place it on the floor, but I'm gonna cover it up. Same logic here, but it's on the ground this time. This is the beginning of teaching your dog how to leave things alone on a walk, whether it's grass or another dog even. You have to teach them that just because you want to go for something doesn't mean you get it. See, she's being persistent. I want her to see that it's not working for her. Those are some sharp claws. Ouch. Yes. The fact that she moved on there is what I'm going to acknowledge. Notice I'm not saying leave it or anything. I'm really just trying to walk her through the thought process here. Where did it go? Oh my God, it is a magic trick. I'm gonna go in slow motion here. Look at this. Look how slow I'm going. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. Yes. So, leave it's looking great. We're gonna test with the chicken, and then we're gonna teach her how to look at us when we ask, and you'll see why that's extremely important and how those two things are related. Leave it and look at me are like the two things that I teach first to any dog. Leave it. This one's harder though. This is real chicken. Yes. Leave it. I'm starting to say leave it because I can see she's really starting to understand the concept. Now for the big test, right? Let's see if she'll leave a piece of chicken alone when I drop it. Leave it. Yes, very good. And I'll take that right now. We're gonna see if we can take that to the next level, and you'll see why leave it really matters. If we're training a dog, we obviously want to reliably be able to get their attention on us. So I wanna teach Moira how to look at me when I ask. She's doing really well now. I'm gonna go ahead and take the leash off since she's really focused on me. This is really easy to teach. I think I'll stick with the chicken. She seems to be enjoying it. I'm gonna keep the pieces really small though. Holding it up right there. And I'd say I have pretty darn good eye contact right now. Yes. So that's right, the first step is literally holding up a really good treat to your eyes. Is she looking at my eyes? Not really, she's just looking at the treat right now. You see that? I mean, this is essentially teaching a dog how to look at our hand, which I will point to my face in a minute, but look at me, yes. So this time I'm gonna fake her out a little bit. I'm gonna make her think I've got a treat. Look at me, yes. No treat, but look, I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna get the treat and give it to her. Here. Yes, even making a sound like that. Anything you can do, even if it's accidental, to get them paying attention to your head is what you want to do. Look at me. Yes, she followed that finger right up to my eyes. Look at this. Look at me. Yes. Let me get a few of these in. Look at me. Yes. I'm saying look at me only as she's doing it. Look at me. Yes. Can I stand up now and see how she does? I'm extending the training bubble. Remember, it's easier for dogs to listen to us when we're closer to them. Look at me, yes, I love how she's looking up at me. Remember, dogs are predisposed to take direction from people. We selected for those qualities in them, so it's in them to do it very easily. Let me see if I can let her attention wane for a moment, then I'm gonna ask her to look at me. Moira, look at me, yes. She responded well to her name there. That's also something I really want to focus on. Every time she responds to come or a sound or her name, I really want to reinforce that. Moira! Yes, good. Look at me. Yes. Watch this now. This gets me really excited. Hopefully this will go as planned. Leave it. Let me get her warmed up a little. Good. Look at me, yes. Okay, let's work up to it. The idea here is to be able to drop an amazing distraction in front of her and get her attention on me. This is the first version of doing that. If we can't get our dogs to do this, we can't reliably hope to be able to get their attention off of something on a walk, like a squirrel or something. This is kind of how we plant the seed and really show them an easy version of leave it, even though it's still a little bit challenging, but it's not as hard as you might think. Just gotta take the time to explain. Leave it. Look at me. Yes. That was a magic moment right there. Leave it. Look at me. Yes. It's called the leave it, look at me combo. I write about this in my book in detail as well. I'll have links to both of my books in the description. Leave it. A lot of movement to that one. Look at me. Yes. And this is the kind of thing you'll do 5-10 minutes at a time. You know, just do a few reps here and there. I don't want to burn her out on it, but she's really starting to get the concept. I think that's a good place to stop right there. So really pleased with her progress. Leave it, look at me combo. First lesson, check. Okay, thank goodness I'm able to teach her something. She is a really smart dog. That's the thing, like high energy dogs like this often get the reputation of being really difficult or stubborn. In most cases, I found it to be the human being who's just uninteresting to the dog, because they're like, come on, let's keep it going, let's do something cool. And we're just focused on sit and lie down and roll over, and we don't go beyond that. So really important to keep pushing your training too. Like many of you, I actually have a job making YouTube dog training videos, and I have to go preview a draft right now, which requires a lot of focus from Bree and me to do producer stuff. So I want to make sure that she has something to do. I'm going to give her a tasty, really high value chew to keep her attention focused on this. Now you can't get by with this all the time, but maybe once or twice a day, you can get by with getting them to be preoccupied and stimulated with something they really like here. Good girl. Yeah. And so I'm hoping that'll keep her satisfied while we get our YouTube job done. We have to stop making a dog training video right now in order to go watch a video about training a dog right now, but we're still making it part of the video. Oh my gosh, that makes my brain hurt. Welcome to your new puppy survival guide. For example, I've lost like 6 pounds since this video.
Right now we are previewing a video, making notes, while also you may notice filming a video.
I know.
2 series at once. We're so productive. It's funny because you're wearing the same outfit. So it's like Zach in a red hoodie, Zach in a red hoodie, and A-Cam over there. Real life Zach still in his red hoodie.
I cannot even handle all the universes that are touching right now simultaneously. It's
I know.
messing with my head. I remember this. How does this go?
She's hard to do it, you guys. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh
Look
my
at those
gosh.
legs in the back. They're in the crawl position almost.
How does he do that?
Yes. Good work.
She's such a good dog. Oh my gosh. Kona, I wish you were here right now. You'd be so much easier.
Go ahead and continue to click.
It's crazy because I actually learn stuff when I watch my own videos. I learn so much. I see where I'm screwing up, and I mean, that's usually what I learn. Yes.
Good. And right there, since you...
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of those jeans.
On the look at me, I'm so
The khaki?
We're a treat right now.
They're in my closet right now. I'm donating
They
them.
make the shoes pop.
If she goes back to doing what she's doing, she's probably
Those
not
shoes don't
yet
need any help.
adjusted. I was still
She's
able to
still
get her
chewing.
attention on me at some point there by asking for it.
This is a 30-minute video. It usually takes us about an hour, hour and a half sometimes, depending, to go through this. I appreciate the variation on the YouTube channel that we're gonna have with her versus the Kona series, versus the Inertia series, versus the next one, which we haven't even talked about yet, but I'm sure it'll be good. Looks like Moira is a little bored.
Oh yeah, she just finally, how long has it been? Like probably 45 minutes or something. She just finally stopped chewing that bone.
But she's, you know, she's whining a little bit, but she's, I mean, you know, little stress there. But not as bad as she would be in a crate. But she also needs to know how to be alone here for a second while we get through
Idea is
this.
to create that
She's
habit of,
you're
okay,
doing a
every time I
good
go
job,
over there,
girl.
I end up getting distracted
Looks
more,
like she
so
found a
I
toy to
have
play with.
my communication
See,
here.
maybe she'd be okay. Yeah, cool. We got all our notes.
Yeah, well.
I think, no, you were doing so well.
That was like an hour of work.
Yes. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what are the absolute essential items that you need during the first 24 hours of having a new dog? Let me briefly cover those. Of course, I like to have a crate so I can easily control the environment. If you feel like your dog will not destroy a bed, that's a good thing to have. Of course, a food bowl and a water bowl. Definitely have at least a 6-foot leash. I like using harnesses with dogs. This is the Blue 9 harness, if you're wondering. It's my favorite harness that I've worked with. Be sure to have a long lead as well. That way you can give them a little more freedom while being able to still control their surroundings. And of course, 2 or 3 toys of varying textures and some different things for them to chew on as well. And of course, you're gonna need their food and treats. I like to have a variety of different types of treats because dogs, like people, are sometimes in the mood for different things, but we'll talk more about that later in the series. And as far as their food goes, if you want to try Nom Nom for your dog, you can get 50% off of a 2-week trial when you go to my special link, trynom.com/Zach. I'll have a link below. Subscribe to my channel, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and get both of my books too. All of the links will be in the description. Now that Moira is settled in, the real training will begin. Wish us luck. Episode 1 is in the books here. She has gotten tired. First 24 hours is up. And also Bree has been working very, very hard too. She's exhausted. So we're taking a break. Pretty good so far though. You're doing a good job, Moira.